My dad died of cancer 6 years ago. My dad spent time in a rehab facility. My dad spent time in a long-term care facility. My dad eventually moved to hospice. The hand holding and the compassion that you people showed through the course of our journey, I can't even begin to thank you enough for all you have done. And that's why I was not only so excited to come here, but in walking around, I see why you're here. You are here because you are going to go back to your facilities and you are going to come up with new ways to do something that you are so passionate about. Isn't that the secret to business? A new way to do an old thing. I get very emotional when I talk about that. I'm trying to switch back into comedy mode here, and I'm going to end with a great example of a company that was a huge success just because they looked at something old in a new way. Now, how many people are familiar with this company? This is the American Girl doll company. This was started in a small town in Wisconsin. It is now owned by Mattel. At the height of their popularity, they did over $700 million a year in sales. Do you know what they sell? Dolls. Why are they so successful? Because they looked at a doll in a new way. Now, as I said, I have two daughters who at one time in their lives were very into American Girl dolls, and for some reason, I was always the guy that had to go down to the American Girl doll store on Michigan Avenue and get a new doll or a new outfit for the dolls. This is not something men should do. Because guys, let's be honest, we were growing up, we had a doll. Gentlemen, who was our doll? G.I. Joe, thank you. How many outfits did Joe have? One! Fatigues. Joe was always cocked and ready for battle. There was no accessorizing. There was never any, woo, Joe's on shore leave this weekend. What should he wear to chase hookers in Okinawa? You know, it's just not this freak show. I walk in, 2 weeks before Christmas, it's me and 1,000 frantic women running up to the hired help. Have you seen Elizabeth? I need to find Brittany. Where's Samantha? I'm like, ladies, take a pill. You cannot have all lost your kids at the same time. No, they're not talking about kids. They're talking about dolls. They think these dolls are real. It's weird. My little one, when she believed in Santa, she wanted Emma. My wife says, go down and get the Emma doll. So I walk in, I said, where's Emma? They send me up to the 9th floor of the American Girl doll store, and I find Emma in her box. And of course, you're not buying a doll, you're buying a little person, so all the dolls have stories in the box. And I'm reading it. It says, Emma is an upper-class girl growing up in Minnesota in 1842. And I turn the box over. Emma is $167. Come on, man, that's what a town in Minnesota cost in 1842. So I take it up to the counter, and the woman says, oh, sir, Emma will make a wonderful addition to your family. Do you have enough outfits for Emma? Because, you know, Emma's riding outfit is on special this month. I said, well, she's not going to get the riding outfit because we can't afford the horse that no doubt is behind the counter. So I'm taking naked upper-class Emma out the door. I'm passing the weirdest stuff I've ever seen. I'm passing the American Girl doll salon where you can get the doll's hair braided. The American Girl doll restaurant where you can have lunch with the dolls. Gentlemen, you have not suffered humiliation until you ask the maitre d' how much longer, and he says there's 4 people and 12 dolls ahead of you. I said, is there an American Girl bar I could wait at? I don't need a lot, just some dark room down below full of dads and American girls who didn't make the cut. You know what I'm saying? Hey, who's on the 3rd stool on the left? Oh, that's American Girl Agnes. She comes with a cigarette and divorce papers. There you go. I hate this store, but I'm fascinated with it because they are doing exactly what you're doing here. They are looking for new ways to do something that has been around forever, in your case, care. Right? New ways, new innovations to do it. If you don't believe me, or if you've never been introduced to this store, I want you to just call it up online or go into a store. You will see rows and rows of American Girl dolls for every little girl's taste. Racks and racks of clothing and accessories. I saw a rack of clothing that was too big for dolls, and I'm looking at it going, oh, I get it. This is clothing for little girls, so the little girls can look exactly like the dolls. It's weird. But the only reason I bring it up is those are my kids in that photo. No, stop applauding. That is a $900 Christmas card you're looking at. Anyway, I want to close by saying I hope that I've given you a chance to think about humor. Take it back to your workplaces because humor does three things. It establishes rapport, it creates alignment, and most importantly, humor is memorable. And I hope you remember this presentation. Thank you very much for all that you do.